Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram 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 Jaya 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 Sitaram 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 Jaya Sitaram 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 Jaya Sitaram 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 Jaya Sitaram 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 Jaya Sitaram Sitaram ki jai, Shri Gonitai ki jai, Jai Jai Radhe Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam. Good morning, Mathuranath.
Good morning, Gurudev.
Where's my medicine?
Yes. It's your medicine.
This is my medicine?
Yes.
You have to show me how much herb to put for 1 day supply.
Okay.
Because usually, like when we do South America, we do our herbs. We throw a whole lot amount inside, no? And
Okay.
that's when it grows all around you, you just. When I see this picture of Krishna giving a hug to Gopalna, I feel that my life has the destiny. What to do, what to do, what to do. Where to go, where to go, where to go. Really? That's where we want to go? Where Krishna hugs Gopakumar and where the devotees are surrounding him in diversity, sweet, 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 sweet leelas. Everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the Lord of everyone. He is the enchant of the gopis. He is the beloved of his cowherd boys. He is the heart and soul of Yashoda and Nanda and all the elderly gopis. He is the witty guy who can cut jokes with anybody, like making really life pleasant. Because, you know, even in Goloka Vrindavan, they cut a lot of jokes. So, sometimes in the scriptures you hear stories how the gopis are making jokes on Krishna and Krishna jokes on the gopis and the gopas on the gopis. I mean, you know, this thing of making jokes on the opposite sex, you know, this is a kind of an universal thing. It even happens in Goloka Vrindavan. And so Krishna is in the heart and soul of everybody. He is the beloved of everybody. In the final stage of the Goloka Vrindavan, there's no competition of any inappropriate way. Wherever all those who are representing the department of competition, they're sent to the material world. There they can play the role of a demon if they want to. But definitely Goloka Vrindavan doesn't open the doors to those who disagree with the divine setup of Goloka. And well, that's a very elevated setup because it's a setup by God. You can call it the role model of divine society. Now, how it exactly works in all the nitty-gritty details, I guess only pure devotees who have been there and came from there who can tell you more about that. But to me it's just a most amazing and most desirable thing. Goloka Vrindavan is a very desirable place. Now, we all desire to go to a place where we are not cheated. We all desire to go to a place where love is consideration number one. We all like to go a place where even birth, old age, disease and death are not really disturbances. Birth, old age, disease and death. Well, in the eternal world they don't exist really, you know. There's no birth, there's no death. So how does it work? Again, cannot understand it, you know. It's like the eternal soul. We are eternal soul. We are not 5 years, 15 years, 25, 60, 80. We are not. But these are different stages which we are going through, and was, oh, I'm already 60, oh, I'm an old man. No. I'm not an old man and I'm not 60. It's just simply something that you think it like that because you look at the mirror and you don't look at the soul. And you get this kind of an idea, no? Even further, you say, oh, I'm male. What kind of male you are? You're just a compounds of hormones and karmas. And now you think you're male, and another lifetime you thought you're female, and it's neither one nor the other. You're a spirit soul, and the spirit soul has a different type of constitution. Now, we hear that the constitution of the soul in Goloka Vrindavan basically is of the female nature, and thus female nature we may call it the female nature is like a gopi form, that actually we are all before God like his assistants, him pleasure-giving assistants. That's the Purusha and Prakriti principle. The female gives pleasure to the male. So the principle of male and female, no, is kind of a taking and given, or let's say predominant and predominated. So somehow there's predomination and predominate, but it's a very funny thing, you know. It's symbolic, if you want to say so, by the male female yin yang principle. There's always there's a great cult in ancient cultures towards the fertility, because fertility means life-giving. So the whole process of this is sacred, you know, and as sacred as it is, as important as it is also part of the divine. So how does it work in the spiritual world? How people get born in the spiritual world? You know, Gopakumayi just reached there, Bhagavatamrita says. No? There's no description that he took birth in Goloka. So the entry to this world doesn't seem necessarily by being born there, but this is something. It's the divine realm. So we don't really bother. We don't really demand detailed description on how everything works there. We just know we have consciousness, and we love to have divine consciousness. And Goloka Vrindavan is the realm of divine consciousness, so divine things happen in the realm of divine consciousness, and the meeting takes place. And when Gopal, Kumar and Krishna meets each other, they hug each other. And as a matter of fact, they pass out, because somehow or other the arrival of Gopal Kumar has made Krishna feel so ecstatic that he, in that moment, he cannot contain himself. I mean, if Krishna passes out, that means, can you imagine the Supreme Lord passes out? How much emotion, how much... I mean, we're not talking about an unhappy thing. We're talking about the most happy thing. Oh, my beloved is coming. Oh, pass out. I mean, for somebody passing out, you know, it must be an amazing emotion. So that God has such an emotion that he passes out when a beloved devotee reaches there. Hey, why are you waiting? Why are you not going? Don't you want to make God happy? You want him to suffer your separation for such a long time, and you still stay in this material world, and you still make efforts to take another drug, to drink another beer, to have another time sex life, or whatever you come up with as entertaining to yourself. And you forget the Lord is waiting for you with such an anxiousness that when you can reach there, he'll be so overjoyed, he'll even forget himself and passes out. I mean, my mother hasn't seen me in a long time. When I finally reach home and give her a hug, it's very sweet for me, it's very sweet for her, but neither do I nor she passes out in the ecstasy. I don't think that any of our mothers and fathers have passed out in the ecstasy of seeing their child. But Krishna passes out, and Gopal Kumar, they both pass out when they meet each other and finally, no, this is my Lord. And what happens when Gopal Kumar passes out? the other coward boys come here and they push him. Hey, hey, wake up! Wake up! What are you doing? You think you come here to give trouble to Krishna? Look, Krishna, Krishna Pasal, you're supposed to come and do something good here. Oh, Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Krishna comes back to his senses, no? So it's a rough play there, you know. Nobody can give trouble to Krishna, no? But the emotion which Krishna feels, that unbelievable emotion, that is Krishna. He loves everybody. So he has emotion. We also have some emotion, but not so much. Like, I'm very happy about you being here in class, but I can't cry about those who didn't come for class. I mean, I wish I could, no? But I'd be crying all day. So, in a sense, I'm protected from that cry about those who are not here, who are not participating, who are not conscious. No? So Krishna has created us in a particular way that we can be part of his great family. But here we are in Bulgaria, we are in a conditional world, and we are trying to figure out what to do to preach Krishna consciousness here, how to use A, B, C, D, E, F, G, no? What Mahavishnu can do here, what Giridhari can do here, Rasa study can do here, how we can get this temple going, how we can... I mean, this temple, for example, is a very, very nice location. How much rent we pay here?
300 euros per month.
300 euros.
300.
Yeah, 300 euros per month for this floor and the upper floor in total. But there are also what is that? The bills are separate. I mean, electricity, water, heating, they are separate bills.
We are paying 300 euros for the 2 floors.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so cheap.
Yes.
It's cheaper than the flats.
Yes. You can see.
Yes.
Maybe
So-
for flats you can take 1 floor for that price.
But that's because this doesn't look very much like an apartment that
Yeah,
a
but
family can live.
that's exactly what I'm saying. That is just mental, my dear. This is the much better place than any apartment you can find. It's fantastic. It has 2 bathrooms. If you can buy this, if you can rent this for 300 euros,
Yes,
it's
yes.
so cheap. You don't want to buy this because the buying price will be much higher. The renting price is really good. So this is what you, like your flat where you're living in now. How much you pay mortgage?
Well, I'm not sure. I hope
You should be sure.
To pay the she had 3 mortgages actually that were very expensive. 2 of them.
No. Just calculate. What is your monthly expenditure for to have the flat?
Now it's not too much. Probably like 100 euro. Or
You only pay
I'm not
100.
sure.
That means the apartment is almost paid off. Okay, what's the monthly expense on your flat?
You mean for the bills, electricity?
Yeah, no. If it was for rent,
Approximately 250 euros per month.
so 250 euros for 2 little
Yes.
rooms.
Yeah.
Here you got for 300 euros, you got a temple room, a yoga room, several extra rooms.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Rent something big and do something there. Make it sensible and make something there. Don't spend your money and your time in the silly flats. Can you imagine? For the same amount you have a flat, I'm having a culture center. Now you just have to think how to do or what to do there, you know. But I think the flat business is a big cheating business. It's just they're giving much too much. What I mean to say is that they just having a system to take all the money from the people. By this, you have to live in a city, you have to live in a flat. It's
the way to control.
Mhm.
The way to control them is to take their money. Yeah, this is perfect for temple, and we can live in temple. But what I'm saying that it's cheap because the normal, let's say normal people, they are not very eager to live in a place like this that doesn't look like a normal apartment.
Yeah, that's the mental stupidity. I mean, if you wanted to make, just this part here, it's a more convenient flat than most of the flats I've seen. It's like fashion. This is, for example, if you rent this place or like this, you could have a kita for your children downstairs and live in the flat upstairs, and everything would be just perfect, and your child would be in an environment. You could hire another person who helps with the kids, and your wife could be working upstairs on her computer doing things, sometimes going down to see the kid, and then you have a whole operation. And if you do that, like you hire a psychologist, you may even have like with children with special care necessary, no? And play with them all day, make them happy, and charge something. You get more money for that than the whole rent pays. You pay your own rent.
The good thing here is that nobody actually lives in that building. It's used only for offices.
Yeah, you have to find the place that you have to find the place that suits you.
Yes.
That's all.
So it's,
But commercial spaces are usually more easily available than flats, or flats are at a certain value. That's all. That's my point I'm making. Like Satvika has a flying classroom. This is a very nice spot, and she immediately turns it into this. And why the city like this could have hundreds of places like Satvika's? In the world of capitalism, you make one formula and then you repeat it. No? You worked out one formula, it works, then immediately you repeat it in other places. That's why you have also many chains. Chains of this shop, chains of that shop. It's like a formula. They call it, what do you call it? Franchise. They call it the franchise. As a matter of fact, people sell you the rights to use a franchise. I mean, we can also have our franchises. Just my mind is not a business mind. My mind is an art mind. I want to see things beautiful and want to see, but you know, I can see it's not very difficult to do something and have a nice franchise. And the best example of franchises are actually the Anthroposophic Society. The Anthroposophic Society, Rudolf Steiner. They have many. They have the Waldorf franchise. They have the BioShop franchise. They have the taking care for the elderly franchise. They have the taking care of the special necessary special education people. They have franchise. They have taken things which are not very popular. People are not really eager to take care of these, no? They have accepted them, and they have become good in doing what they're doing, and therefore, I don't know in Bulgaria, but in Germany, Switzerland, France, they have so many establishments, and they're actually good people. They, like for example, a Waldorf school, it demands on the parents to be actively participating. If you're not actively participating, they say, we don't want your child. If you're not coming here and showing your care for the education. Like how many people send their children to a good school, but when the children go home, they find a real disaster at home. They give money, but they don't give any further. For example, Waldorf school in many places don't accept your child if you have a TV at home. Yes, those are standards. So in this way, if you want to accomplish certain things, you have to make a certain investment. So I think as far as, and don't forget, the Rudolf Steiner people, they started their work while Germany was going through fascism and Hitlerism and all this thing, and in the midst of that, they sustained their contribution. Unfortunately, they are not strict vegetarians. If they would be like the best group, the best group. But some of the Waldorf schools are vegetarian now. They're getting it. They're getting it that it's progressive to be vegetarian. But according to Steiner, you're not strictly vegetarian. I don't know if Steiner was vegetarian himself. Check it out on the. He may have been vegetarian, but the anthroposophists are not. They're institutions. Of course, the institutions were been working with governments. No, they get government support to get money like anything, because they take care of people. You know. Now, if you look to the Christian churches, now what have they done? They have taken the schools, all the schools they had in their grip. They have taken the hospitals, all in their grip. They have taken the orphanages, all in their grip. They have taken the, there's so many other things. They have taken the cemeteries. All the cemeteries are Christian controlled, no? So in this way, you can see, no? They have also institutionalized their power in the society to have very strong social services, which are of need. That is why many people say nowadays they're Christian, because they're in the social system of these people, even though they don't believe anything the church says, because it's too contradictory, but they still believe in a system which culturally supplies them with an institutional infrastructure. Like if we are Hare Krishnas here, very nice, we're happy, but the moment somebody really becomes sick, he has to go St. Francis Mercy Clinic and says, dear Christian brothers, could you please look after my body? So in this way, it's a service also. And devotees have to become expert to render service to society in whatever specific faculty they have. And Oida therapy is one of them. World Conscious Pact is different. That is a social movement, a social uprising for protecting Mother Earth. But Inbound Yoga School, for example, or the Utsav also, they are truly providing for us to create a network of social service, social educational service, etc. Let's see what comes from that. It's a big amount of work. It's a lot to do. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this lifetime. I hope others will take it further, but it's a task. And this type of task is what we like to do, because my spiritual master, he created such a big task in this regard. He created the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and that provided big amount of service and is still providing in India lots of different things. People are coming to Krishna Consciousness by the developments. And of course, because it became so big and so institutionalized, and we don't agree with many of the things, how they're managed, etc., etc. But I tell you, if I would be in the street now somewhere and don't know what to do, I mean, I'd probably join an ISKCON temple, because at least they have a spiritual environment and good healthy food and service for which makes sense. No, I wouldn't think of joining the Mormon Church or I mean, because I believe in Krishna, of course, that's the main reason. No, but because to start your own mission, to start your own temple, well, that required lots of faith and lots of energy. Practically have to go out. Now we're going to take breakfast because it's 9:10, and I think at 10 we have to be in that park.
I'm not sure. I will call Satika now.
Yes, call her,
I think it was
please.
10:30 actually.
She said 10 yesterday, so we want to be on time. Anyhow, I just reflected upon you, with you a little bit, finding your space in society. And us as devotees, finding our space, like in Sweden, we haven't found our space. Half, no? Maha,
Bola, mi smo v hramu ljudje, ki počne lekcije.
Maha, Hari, he has a great farm, but has no time to farm. It's too small for a commercial farm. Then he has a shop, a restaurant. It's nice, but you're not allowed to cook. So he has to make some half-baked situation there, which is always frustrating, but he manages even to sleep down there, you know, like sleeping in the place you work. But it's good for preaching. He can preach there. He can make new contacts, but he's not fully satisfied. Nor will anybody pay him the money he invested there so he could get out and get his money back, so he's stuck with it. No? So we haven't really found our place in society very much, you know. And we have to find our place. And Krishna consciousness helps a lot, like Sankirtan. With Sankirtan you can survive immediately, and you can go tomorrow to Plovdiv and next day to Karjali and survive because you're selling something. And I mean, look at those books which we have, the Walter Eidlitz book. I'd love to sell it. I mean, I love to sell Prabhupada's books also, but in a way I feel that these books is a much better, more introductory book. I mean, you never know. Somebody gets a Bhagavad Gita, he may turn to become a devotee right there. But somebody may also become a devotee from reading the Walter Eidlitz book. So, but it's more easy reading. And people say, oh, what happened there? Oh, and these people are here. These people have a center in here in Sofia. I want to meet them. Because Walter Eidlitz wrote more books, no? After I read his first one, I got all the others and read them, and they're very good reading material. So here we go. Here we go. Back to home, back to Godhead. Come along, don't waste your time. Get ready now and do something sensible and useful. Don't be a guy like who works for years and years to finally buy a flat which is really not good for preaching. That just makes you upset with the neighbors. It's a waste of energy. I mean, you guys are all powerful guys, and you can work in HP. I know what that means. It means you are a high power employee type, because they don't work with people who don't know what they do, who do not know what they're doing. So if you can manage such a position in such a, you can also be the generating force in something like in whole. Just you need what you need probably is more entrepreneur spirit, a little bit more bold, and not taking big risk, but going into the line of Krishna, the spiritual master. But do we have an entrepreneur spirit? And then we can do small things. We don't look for the big institution. Those people come to me, they look for the big institution. Usually they want to get a job in it, and maybe, who knows, maybe have an easy life on it, but it's not like that. Krishna consciousness doesn't supply that really. And if it supplies, then it's not Krishna conscious, because if you're there for the money, if you're in the temple for the money you make there, then you're not a devotee, then you're just a fruitive worker. At the same time, devotees also need money. So they do yoga, they do this, they do. I mean, how do we maintain our temples? You know, we maintain temples in places there is no Sankirtan. There's small cities. You can't go out every day with 5 people selling books. People go tired of you. because if a devotee approaches you every day and wants to sell your book, then after a while you say, I already got it. Could you leave me alone? Huh? Of course, in a city of millions of people, you can do it. You can, I just got a report from our Sankirtan party of 18 Sankirtan devotees, and they I don't know what period they reported, but they reported that they have sold in the last period 600,000 books, and they're nice books, and they are doing Sankirtan in the Transmillennium in Bogota, which is like a subway, but on the surface, and they let them do it. Because actually, officially, it's prohibited to sell anything in that system. Can you imagine doing Sankirtan in metro in Stockholm? If they let you do it, you'd be selling books like hotcakes. Huh? I did Sankirtan in the in the subway system in London. It was totally prohibited. But it was great. We were collecting lots of Lakshmi. We would go around with a bucket. Pitch in a donation for our temple. Huh? Everybody threw in a coin. You had a bucket full of coins at the end of the day. And there's excitements, like in Mexico. Mexico City is a very strange city because it's built on a lake. There was a lake before. Now there is a big part of Mexico City. It's like 3,000 islands in the middle of the city, with channels in between. That's what's left of the big lake from before. And now the channels are like kind of touristic, so they have these beautiful boats going, like in Venezia. And you can rent one of those islands and just make a little temple out there in the nature, totally far out, much more beautiful than Venezia. But it's like this, life is full of opportunities. Just grab them and do something and be humble about it, because it doesn't necessarily work very well. But it will work if you work hard, because our work depends on impacting upon people that we are there to serve them. So everybody wants to be served. Served a nice dish, served a nice yoga class, served a nice lecture, served a nice drawing or a book. This is all service. We are offering our service, and our service is not mundane. Our service is spiritual. So all in this, all this we have to get going for our morning. And Srivas came finally.
I just talked to Sam.
Yes.
It's okay if we go at 11. It would be okay. She said that they're still gathering the people there.
She's already there?
She's already there, but she says 11 would be okay to go there, because not all of the people are there anyway.
Okay, now it's 9:30. Let's take breakfast, and further discussions we do upstairs in our wonderful temple. Keep it. Next time I come.